afternoon, Northwest, and welcome to the January edition of Husky Headlines. I'm Nathan Fortune.
And I'm Melanie Wilkins. Hey Nathan, have you stopped by the doghouse recently?
I haven't had the chance, but I've seen some of the new changes they've made. Peter tells us more about their newest renovations.
Over the last few months, the Northwest Doghouse has kicked off the new year with new items, decorations, and a new logo at Northwest.
This semester we'll be seeing a lot of changes in the doghouse. So our biggest aspect that we've changed is the logo. We have a new banner within the store itself. We have some new decor items in the store. We have some new items for sale just to make it feel more like a home. We talk about it being the doghouse.
This is our 10-year anniversary, and we thought it'd be a good idea to just like spruce things up and bring a little excitement. It was boring in here, and if it's not something that we enjoy, then it's not really worth it to any of us. And it was just boring, and I think it also just gave us something to do and built us like as a team, not only the doghouse in general, but working together.
After receiving more than 25 entries in the design contest, senior Madison Kunze's logo was selected to give the doghouse a facelift.
When I was designing the logo, I kind of just asked myself what I would want to look at, and I think it's really just simple and clean and chic, and when you look at it you're like, oh, it's a cute little doghouse, but it really helps them bring a more friendly attitude and a more welcoming environment in the doghouse.
It has always been something that I wanted to adjust. Thinking about the 10-year anniversary, we thought this would be a really cool time to roll out a new logo and have some new changes to the store.
I think a lot of people just don't even come into the doghouse because either they don't know what it is or they don't want to. I think if we build up this excitement, then more people are going to want to come in.
The steps they're taking now to improve their brand and to improve just little things about the doghouse really speaks a lot that they're trying to improve and that they're heading somewhere. They're not just complacent. They're constantly thinking about what will the next generation be interested in.
Now, this has just been a really fun process. I want to learn, and I'm constantly trying to grow what's different, what's new in the world of marketing, and so I invite students in that process with me, and so it's just been fun to get to work alongside my doghouse students to make some lasting changes.
The doghouse is looking forward to its future and hopes to continue to serve the needs of Northwest students. This is Peter Educate and Melanie Wilkins for Husky Headlines.
But since you've been gone!
Nathan, why are you singing?
Sorry, I'm just trying to be like some of the students that go to the music house. I found out more about this popular place. Since its opening in 2012, the Music House has become a place many Northwest students call home. The Music House allows these musicians to pursue their musical interests while working in harmony with others.
What we pride ourselves in, what we think is special about what we do, is we try to buck the trend of what people think about when they think of music education. Because we think in a way that system is broken. Taking a private lesson with somebody in the back of an instrument shop, while you may have a great teacher, if you're lucky, only ever gets you to a certain point. Really where you grow as a musician is when you find other musicians, you find a community.
I've been going to Music House for 6 years. I did a lot, a variety of things. First I played piano for maybe 3 months, then I stopped that because I really wasn't into it. I just really wanted to learn how to play guitar because I had all these people that I really looked up to musician-wise, like Jimi Hendrix and Stevie Ray Vaughan. And at Music House, it's maybe 6 people at the most that all know how to play their instruments really well. A lot of it's just improvised, and we just follow a certain set, and then we play that, and then we can just go off on it from there. And at school, it's kind of just you play this, and there's not a lot of interpretation.
When I first got pursued was really in 5th grade. I joined 5th grade band and started to join percussion, which I thought was really fun. So after that, once I found drum set, it turned into my passion. The first day I went there, it was kind of you just try your instrument, see what you enjoy. And I got a new teacher named Steve, which he was a really changing point in my life. I really started to develop technique and get so much better. Kind of just a place to go to kind of lose yourself, because if you really enjoy your instrument, you can go there and do your passion.
When I was in 6th grade, I noticed that many people that were in the musical and in choir were taking private vocal lessons to better their own voice. And I thought that I wanted to learn more about singing and vocal technique, so I decided to take singing lessons. The changes are so gradual, so you don't really notice them paying off because you're like, well, nothing's really improving, I'm not doing much. But then you get a payoff and you have a show and you see months of hard work paying off, and I just think that's kind of cool.
When you walk in here, it just feels different. There's a vibe. You know, when somebody walks through the door, what they experience is like this cacophony of sound, and there's bands rehearsing in the auditorium. The idea of just being a part of something where human interaction is the main ingredient is, whether people actually consciously think that or not, I think it's very appealing.
The community the Music House creates allows students to strengthen their performance skills and express themselves through music. This is Nathan Fortune and Allie Brenneman composing this story for Husky Headlines.
Now for this month's edition of Northwest Snapshots.
My pets are sugar gliders. They're marsupials. They come from South America. My mom and we first found out about them when we went to the mall to go shopping, and there was a convention there. My dad and my brother didn't know about them at all. So my mom asked the people that had the sugar gliders to put them on hold, and we went home and we researched all about them, and then we got them the next day. They're unusual to most people because most people don't have sugar gliders, but they're a lot like dogs and cats. They're very loyal, and they just want you to love them. They need more care than most animals do. Most of the time you're advised to get 2 of them because they can die like of loneliness sometimes. If you have a sugar glider, just care for them a lot because a lot of the time they're sold on eBay because their owners can't take care of them. That's really sad for them because they grow attached to the people that adopt them. And I also want people to know that if you're allergic to cats or dogs, sugar gliders are hypoallergenic. You can get a sugar glider and they'll be your companion.
Look, Melanie, do you think I can make it in Hollywood?
Nathan, you'll never be as talented as Rahul Daniel. Jillian tells us more about his interest in directing.
While most people write essays for their college applications, senior Rahul Daniel is able to use his interest in filmmaking to enhance his college submission.
The skits I make are little 5-minute comedy shorts called Darren Parks. It's a series, and it's about a baseball coach and his classroom and funny stuff he does. First, there's the writing portion where usually I have to formulate ideas, print out a script, then I send it to the actors, then we have a schedule of time to film, and then there's just the filming process where we just record everything. And after that, I usually just go home, edit it all in one long go, and publish.
Darren Parks is essentially Rahul Daniel's film school application to the University of Southern California. So he asked a bunch of people in our friend group to help him out with this, and we all decided to help out and pitch in.
With the help of his friends, Daniels has used these experiences to further his skills as a director.
Rahul is a very good filmmaker because he's very patient with us. That's probably the biggest thing. He's also very creative, but I'd say patience is the most important thing because I don't think most people understand how many times you have to refilm everything, how hard actually like memorizing lines and not laughing or screwing up is.
From filming Darren Parks, we've learned how to work in a group better and how to be more patient with other people. It does take more time, everyone's different. We usually have to reshoot scenes on average about 4 or 5 times. The first scenes are usually the most difficult. That takes about 10 shots at least.
The most challenging part of it is probably people management because I'm pretty inexperienced at directing and to try and get everyone coordinated on the same page, especially when it's just a group of friends trying to mess around.
Personally, what I feel I get out of doing Darren Parks is helping a friend out. It was a necessity for him. He needed this for film school, and this was essentially his application that was going to get him in. So I just enjoy helping Rahul out.
When I see other people watching the videos and just laughing or enjoying it, it's honestly one of the best parts of filming this because that's the goal of it. It's supposed to make people laugh, and it's supposed to take the humor that friends and I would just say to ourselves and like present it to others in a way they can enjoy too.
Rahul hopes to continue these skits with his friends and will pursue filmmaking in his future. This is Jillian Atterbury and Peter Educate for Husky Headlines.
Nathan, have you thought about joining the wrestling team?
No, I haven't, but Ryan tells us about how the wrestling season is going.
Fresh off a second place finish in the EKL last season, the wrestling team finds themselves in an unusual situation, having a team of young men with very little varsity experience.
It's basically a senior sophomore group sprinkled in with 1 or 2 juniors. The seniors, anyway, they've been wrestling for a while. It's just that they had really good kids ahead of them. They're coming in and they don't know anything. They just need to get mat time, and I'm really not worried about them. The sophomores, they're going to have their eyes open.
There's only 4 or 5 returning varsity wrestlers. You know, we have a lot of really young kids, a lot of sophomores, and they haven't wrestled before now.
The biggest challenge for this team so far is adjusting from a junior varsity type style to a high caliber varsity style.
I guess I kind of had to prepare myself mentally for it because it is definitely a lot different than JV. I mean, you're wrestling guys that have been wrestling for a long time, and when you're a first-year wrestler wrestling some guys that have been wrestling for a long time, it's a lot.
Although the team has younger wrestlers than usual, that hasn't stopped them from improving each day during practice.
We need to be the best practice team, to be the most well-conditioned team, and we just need to get after it and be great at the basics. The basics are the most important thing. When you see little kids wrestling, it's just basics, 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 and if you can get those down, we can be a good team.
Basics are the best thing for anyone to go off of. Those same basics you can watch an Olympic match, and those are the same basics that we need to hold ourselves to wrestle at to be able to get to that level.
They're pretty sound in some basics, but they're starting to figure out it takes more than just one person for the team to actually do well. We're just going to build on that, knowing that you guys are going to step up and try to keep up with what everyone else has done here before.
With these motivations in mind, the team continues to push themselves forward.
Just keep wrestling. It's not over until the final buzzers buzz, because you got to wrestle, you got to stick with it, and you got to give it your all for a short amount of time.
You can't quit just because a predecessor before you has gone away. So it's still the same hard work mentality that you have to have.
We always just focus on getting better. I really don't focus on winning and losing. I never have. And all I ever tell them is, you walk in this door, you want to get better when you walk out.
With the season in full swing, the team hopes to qualify and place multiple wrestlers at the state tournament in February. This is Ryan Blank and Jillian Atterbury for Husky Headlines.
And now for this month's edition of Senior Profiles.
For pregame rituals, what I normally do is I kind of like sit down and I listen to my music. I have a certain playlist, I have to play 3 certain songs, and then as a team, we all listen to Gas Pedal and dance in the locker room.
Greatest accomplishment probably be state last year. Had a pretty solid finish and we finished 3rd overall.
I was stranded on an island. I'd choose to be with Veronica Spillman because she's really smart and she knows what she's doing.
Ever since I was a little kid, when I started doing swim lessons, I was really good at it. And so the swim lesson teacher, she told me that I should be joining the swim team. So I joined the swim team at the YMCA, and I've been swimming ever since.
That I get to play with my friends and that I have fun while I'm doing it.
Best thing about this swim and dive team, we have like really good culture, I think, you know. Practices are a lot of fun. Barrington always plays good music.
So Melanie, how's the pizza?
Hard to say. Nick tests students and staff on Northwest Food.
A common idea about cafeteria food is that the taste is noticeably different from the foods that the average consumer may be able to buy at the grocery store. We conducted a blind taste test to determine the validity of this stereotype.
Just to be fair, can't see a thing.
Can we make bird box jokes?
Okay. Ooh, this feels great.
I don't like corn dogs.
I used to eat school corn dogs all the time, so I feel like I should be good at this.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Not bad. I think that that's the grocery store one.
My bet is that this is the store corn dog. I'm gonna say school.
No, I changed my mind. The first one was the school one. This is the grocery store one.
That's not a school corn dog. That's too good.
I don't think that's a school one either.
Yep, that's the school's. Yep. I think I've drank that one before. I'm pretty sure because I had it once by accident and it's way chocolatey.
Oh, this is not school chocolate milk.
Oh, that's rich chocolate right there.
You can taste the chocolate.
This is straight from India.
Dude, that's like smooth and creamy.
That's good. That's not school chocolate milk.
I don't know. The school chocolate milk's pretty killer if you ask me. I'm gonna say it's school chocolate milk.
That is not the school's chocolate milk. The school chocolate milk is really thick.
I don't know. I can just taste the paper particles from the carton in this one. Wait, the school has different Doritos?
Yeah, they have like those reduced fat ones.
I think that's a school one.
I can taste the fat on it, so it's definitely not the school one. I'm going with my instincts on this one.
You're wrong.
How do you know?
I'd say this is the school one. It's a little less flavorful.
Yeah, it's the real one.
I think it's the school one.
I just had a good Dorito.
That is not a school Dorito.
That's a good Dorito.
Ooh. Whoa, that's chicken?
This is what I ate today for lunch.
It was in the shape of a square.
And it's school chicken. It's pretty gross.
I'm sorry, no, this is not school chicken.
I would guess that's the school one. I think they make strange-shaped meat products.
Here's the thing. I'm so familiar with every form of chicken that this school serves that I know that this is not school chicken.
Excuse me, yes, that's the school one. I'm pretty sure.
Neither are good.
Our taste testers couldn't always tell the difference between food purchased in the cafeteria and what your mom and dad would put on the dinner table. So how do you think you would do? This is Nick Swiden and Ben Johnson for Husky Headlines.
Hey Nathan, where do you think is a good place to work as a teen?
I don't know, but I've heard Tallgrass Creek is pretty good. Allie tells us more.
When it comes to entering the workforce, most students choose jobs that don't require much formality or expectation. However, several students at Northwest have strayed from the beaten path to work at Tallgrass Creek, an assisted living community.
It's a great experience builder. You get to make really good friendships here, I guess. You get to know the residents really well. There's also a great scholarship program here where if you work so many hours for such a long period, then you get a good scholarship that the Erickson Living staff provides, which is fantastic.
The residents are so fun and they love to interact with us. It's really busy though sometimes. It can be really hard, but as long as you're on top of getting them what they need, it's really fun.
In any other job, you're gonna get new people every day, whereas here you get the same people every day. So I feel like I've almost became friends with the residents. I've got to know them really well, whereas any other job, you would have regulars, but our regulars are every day. You really get to know them and you get to have a good time, I think. It's really great.
I think it's an incredible program. The kids, not only are they making money, they are working toward a very, very good goal. They're working towards college, and they can accumulate quite an interest in college. And I think that the kids are learning how to deal with old people, how to deal with the public, how to follow directions, how to be more precise and exact in everything that they do. That's good training for them because it'll only help them in their future, no matter what job they have. They will remember this experience, I'm sure.
I've learned about all these different things that they've gone through. There's this one table, there's 3 men and a lady that sit there every day, and she tells me about her stories about when she was a fighter pilot and when she flew planes and how hard it was for her to get to that point, and that's crazy. That's awesome. So it has shown me that a lot of things can be possible.
Unless they have parents or grandparents that have some type of disability, minor, it may be a limp, it may be they're in a wheelchair or what have you, they learn to communicate and react with those residents just as well as someone that's blessed with good health like fortunately my wife and I are. Perhaps they wouldn't have that opportunity otherwise.
I'm just glad they're here. Rather than having a grumpy old adults taking care of us, I like having the kids. I think it's a wonderful thing.
Despite the age gap, Tallgrass's employees create lasting relationships with the residents and will carry with them their stories and advice for years to come. This is Allie Brenneman and Mary Kiani-Nia serving up this story for Husky Headlines.
Abby tells us about a program that helps less fortunate students around the district.
Community for Kids is a Blue Valley organization that helps students with lack of resources to have the opportunity to have food over the weekend.
About 6 years ago, that would have been 2012, there were a group of us working with the Blue Valley Multi-Service Center, and we heard of a need at a school. They had a lot of students apparently that were food insecure, and there was one person, a mom, who was literally with PTO money trying to pack all these food packs for these kids out of her home and distribute them. And so we started thinking if there was a need at one school, there might be needs at other Blue Valley schools, and we came up with Community for Kids.
Walking in and seeing the chalkboard with digits into the hundreds of students that we help, that shocked me. I didn't know that there was a program like this, even at all. It's from elementary all the way to high school, and that breaks my heart because we don't really talk about that. We don't really acknowledge that at our schools.
There's been years where we haven't really had the funds and we were kind of Like, how are we gonna buy the food? And then every time, just somebody comes through.
We've had several events this year, and the one I guess we were talking about at your school, the big food drive last year, that was very successful. Cedar Hills had a huge food drive this year, and we went over and we packed 350 food packs with the kids, and they thought that was great.
There's this mindset that we come from a bubble, that our suburbs are guarded, that everyone here has some sort of stable income or that they have some sort of stable household to go home to. But the reality is that reality hits everyone. When we think about hunger, we tend to separate ourselves as suburban kids who live in Johnson County or in Overland Park, but in reality, poverty and hunger is an issue that is everywhere.
I think it's important in general that we try to support anyone in our community who is having a hard time struggling with paying bills or certainly food insecurity.
It's something that, you volunteer for and you see the immediate impact in your own community. You can package food at Harvesters, you can go and do something like Relay for Life, but you don't really see the end result of that. But knowing that it's students in my own school who are benefiting from what I'm doing, that's kind of an incredible feeling. And knowing that this is something that is in Blue Valley is like incredibly personal.
We're really proud not only to be helping these students, but also to be active in the community trying to get people to realize that there are hungry children and there are hungry families, and we need to help them as part of the community.
To get involved, you can go to communityforkids.org, or you can donate non-perishable, non-glass, and nutrition-packed food items to Community for Kids by taking your donations to Miss Emily in the nurse's office. This is Abby Laux and Riley Beach for Husky Headlines.
In honor of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we asked Northwest students how his legacy has impacted this nation.
I had a dream that I was playing in the NBA.
Becoming like photographer.
To be a lawyer. Go to school, be the first person in my family to get a degree.
I have a dream that one day people will be able to be who they are without judgment from other people. Because of what he's done, because of the Civil Rights Act, and because he argued for desegregation and all of these things, everyone of every race is entitled and allowed to be where they are today.
It started a movement of, equal rights for all different skin colors, whether you're white, black, yellow, purple, doesn't matter.
People that are different in general, that don't fit the social norm, or people whose differences are sort of discouraged.
Without him, I wouldn't be able to go sit down at a dinner table with some of my friends and enjoy their kind of food or their kind of music.
To treat others the way you want to be treated, and that everyone is the same, even if our skin color is different or whatever, like everyone's the same.
I showed people that there could be something more happening in our community, something that we can stand up for and fight for.
Change starts with one person. And if each person can recognize that a human being is not just their race, it's not just their nationality. A human being has emotions and feelings and desires.
I have a dream.
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 I have a dream for society to be united.
Equality with everyone, not just whites or not just blacks.
People will have hope for hope into a better future.
Equality will become a reality.
There shouldn't be anyone who is more power, more privileged than another.
That we could all just love each other and that all the hate will go away.
Everyone getting the same opportunities and being treated exactly the same.
I have a dream that people are paid equally, that all people have access to clean water and clean air, that all people have access to health benefits, all people can be equal.
That all men are created equal.
That's it for this month's edition of Husky Headlines. I'm Melanie Wilkins.
And I'm Nathan Fortune. Have a great day, Northwest.